Niacin's therapeutic promise is undergoing a critical renaissance, particularly in the context of early cardiovascular disease (CVD) intervention. Traditionally used to modify serum lipids, niacin is now being recognized for its cell-level effects that make it an ideal candidate for preventive cardiometabolic therapy, even before overt dyslipidemia manifests. The findings from recent studies reveal that niacin exerts protective effects on vascular health through mechanisms that operate independently of its influence on blood cholesterol levels. This makes niacin especially suited for targeting the earliest cellular events in atherosclerosis development, potentially redefining how and when it should be deployed in clinical care. In early atherosclerosis, macrophages accumulate in the arterial intima and begin engulfing oxidized LDL particles, transforming into foam cells and triggering local inflammation. Critically, these early processes involve intracellular cholesterol trafficking, lysosomal dysfunction, and inflammasome activation, none of which are immediately reflected in systemic lipid profiles. Niacin acts directly at this cellular interface, enhancing cholesterol clearance from lysosomes through a defined molecular pathway: activation of CD38, generation of NADP, stimulation of TRPML1, mediated calcium release, and subsequent activation of LXRA. This transcriptional cascade upregulates NPC1, ABCA1, and ABCG1, enabling efficient export of intracellular cholesterol and preventing lysosomal overload. What is striking is that in animal models of early atherosclerosis, niacin significantly reduced plaque formation and inflammation without lowering plasma total or free cholesterol. This decoupling of vascular benefit from systemic lipid change is highly significant. It suggests that niacin can be effective before traditional risk markers would even trigger therapeutic action, offering a preventive approach that addresses the root of arterial inflammation and cellular lipid toxicity rather than waiting for end-stage biomarker thresholds. Moreover, niacin's anti-inflammatory and anti-apoptotic effects in OXLDL-stressed macrophages provide additional rationale for early use. By reducing IL-1 secretion and preserving cell viability, niacin helps maintain a stable, reparative immune environment within the vascular wall. These actions could delay or even prevent the transformation of benign fatty streaks into clinically dangerous plaques. Unlike statins, which primarily reduce LDL production in the liver, niacin fortifies the body's cellular capacity to detoxify and redistribute cholesterol in situ at the very sites where atherosclerosis takes hold. The implications for preventive cardiometabolic therapy are substantial. Individuals with metabolic syndrome, borderline lipid profiles, or subclinical atherosclerosis may not yet qualify for aggressive lipid-lowering drugs under current guidelines. Yet, the pathological processes that niacin targets, lysosomal cholesterol trapping, inflammation, and early plaque formation, are already underway in these patients. Administering niacin at this stage could delay disease progression and reduce the need for high-dose statin therapy or invasive interventions down the line. Additionally, niacin's low cost, long safety history, and oral bioavailability make it a practical option for large-scale, early-stage interventions, particularly in resource-limited settings where cardiovascular screening and follow-up may be inconsistent. The formulation and dosing strategies could be optimized to balance efficacy with tolerability, especially regarding flushing, which remains a key barrier to adherence, but may be mitigated through modern delivery systems or combination therapy. In essence, niacin's value in cardiovascular medicine is no longer confined to late-stage lipid management. It now stands as a promising agent for upstream intervention, restoring cellular cholesterol balance, calming inflammation, and preventing plaque formation before it becomes a systemic threat. By shifting focus from reactive to proactive care, niacin has the potential to reshape how we approach the prevention of cardiovascular disease in the modern era.